So, if you could just be patient, the light's gonna go on and off. It's motion sensor. It's all I've got left. And, they took off with all my blank paper, so I'm on a artistic pad here. We're gonna call this the broken domino cell. This is where I was. This is why I'm not calling anybody out for anything. There are real human beings trying to get out of this shit. All right. I don't believe Domino's running from having to pay for what crime she's committed. I think she's running from being put back in here, reconditioned, sent out under Mojo's care to do what she doesn't half the time remember or know she's doing. She gets thrown back in here, broken back apart, reassigned. So this cell wall over here is where the broken dominoes were. I don't know if they still are after my little adventure there. But all along this wall were pictures of what these girls were trained to imitate. The faces. Domino has a square face and can fit into like the Madonna model and all of that. So the three prime goals, wannabes, are right here. The picture, the top one I think was like a black vampiric kind of thing. This was like a Madonna thing. This was like a cool little virginess kind of thing. And over here were the higher potentials. So you had like sandals advertisement, a beautiful woman in a futuristic, beautiful world, blah, blah, blah. And they would graduate from the pictures here to here. Over here was drawing of the condor to always remind them they were being watched. Here in the slabs, the most prominent condor was a little Mexican-Asian mixed man who would ride his bike through here. I thought he was just a wacky stalker till I got there and knew for sure what that was. So the keeper instructed me eventually to take all those pictures down because I was fucking with the eyes looking and trying to victimize the girls in this space. So all the pictures came down. This said in smoke weed or get high, in weed we trust was here. Then there's just another weed symbol here. Took all that down, threw everything out of the cell. Here, I changed that to be real. Sisters. That's right. We're all fucking stars. This one cast a spell over here. Basically, in the end, the keeper out here undid her braids, and her baby daddy's sitting there saying, "She making you weak, she making you weak." She's like, no. I was filling her in on her future because she was looking forward to going up here. She's moving on into a prison instead of just the jail. So that keeper, she left. Another keeper came in. She was all flamboyant, Mexicana. No, I want this cell up here. No, I don't want to be in there. I want that cell right there. And the guards are just trying to ignore her. She's like, oh, I know you. Oh, didn't you have the child with, oh. She knew all the ladies coming and going out of here. Except for me. And I refused to even acknowledge her. Until that made her a little bit insecure, a little vulnerable. So I started helping her out in getting into the cell she wanted. That was the keeper cell. And she ended up there, and we made friends, and they couldn't give me enough. They were helping me out and all that shit. But back to this overlay. So my first season here, I was hiding out from Crook at what was then Xanadu under Stewie's care, then called Oz. My van was hidden under a tarp on the other side of the camper here, and then Domino and Scrappy had a trailer here. Now, it's my first summer here. I'm hiding out from a man who wants to murder me because I still refuse to have sex with him. When Domino and Scrappy's trailer gets on fire. Thankfully, my van was not there. We had it hidden out someplace else. But a lot of us were hiding behind the counter there. And as we were hiding, somebody pointed out through the back crack in the wall a pickup truck with a guy and Mojo. And they said, "Oh, that's the guy who set the fire getting paid by Mojo." So poor Domino and Scrappy, with their little brains all broken and fractured, are sent to be under Mojo's care. See, Oz explained to me how Mojo put him there. Originally, it started out as Katamari number 2, I believe. It was changed to Xanadu and eventually became the Red Rum Room. I think Mojo lost to the pirates or something like that. Not too sure. But this is basically the model of what's been going on in the slabs since I got here. And I'm just suffering from heat exhaustion. This is way over my head. I don't know how to deal. What the fuck? I want to be myself in the woods. That's all I wanted. So now we've got the Church of Enlightenment camp. This camp's sexual healing involved child molestation. This back trailer was filled with all child's imitation blow-up dolls and all that. This guy camped out in the first pallet house covered by a tarp. Over here, he showed up the day this guy died, and they began to discover what was there. Well, who takes care of all the records, the important paperwork, and everything? Who's assigning people to camps, okay? Let's keep this in mind. So who's in this camp right now? Well, they're no longer victimizing children there. Now it's kind of a split camp. We have AJ planted here. The last women over the past couple of days that came out of there complained that they weren't feeling well after eating something, and when they were offered something to drink, they poured it out, and in the bottom were 3 little tablets of acid. Now, AJ's been accused of being involved in human trafficking, stuff like that. He tried to, convince me my knockers were going to make him king, and he was going to, wacko. But again, only half a person. I'm sure there's a real human being under there wanting out of this fucking bloody psychotic shit. So we got that going on, and who knows what this guy's interest is, because he keeps to himself, and like I said, he showed up to help with the chomo aspect. Which is why when people sit there and say, "Oh, we don't put up with chomos, we don't put it," I understand that there's a real human being that wants to be that good guy, believes they're that good guy, and can be that good guy. But I also know that he's a broken guy. They're all broken guys trying to get out from under that brokenness. So the most recent target coming out of there was the Oasis Club. I walked in one day, and all of a sudden I got this smell. I call it a smell. Anybody who is very intuitive, they'll refer to it as a smell. I smelt the last days of the Handlebar, in which Rob was in charge, and Styx had started coming in, throwing fits. It was exactly that scenario. There were breaking in going on at the Oasis Club. Somebody was trying to get Burl out of the Oasis Club, take it over, burn it down, don't know. But all I know is after I told Rob, wow, this feels like the last days of Handlebar, Rob left town, I broke Styx, Styx left town. They all left on that white bus. A whole lot of trouble left on that white bus. Emma left. They had I don't even know how they fit all them people and dogs on that bus. Or did they? We have a whole big desert out there filled with bodies. Who fucking knows? But, yeah, am I in danger by putting all this out there? Yes and no. Because ultimately, this wants to end. This wants to stop. These people don't want to be doing this. But the overlay, the influences that have been driving this, there's so much momentum in their anger and their evil. They don't know how to get out of it. So there's little ways that those of us intuitively can do. And it's basically using the same method that they create this with. Because when they come at you, those who have been confused know how that confusion is created. So when they come, heel toe, dosey do, round and round. Who said what? Snow, who said what? I. And they just get tired and wander out. Because the masters of confusion created even greater masters of confusion in the children that they wanted to corrupt. So, yep, this is just so these people can liberate themselves from this shit, and maybe people can understand and allow others to pull themselves out of this weird psychosis of broken minds and dirty deeds.